screaming in pain between each song because it hurt so bad. Someone kept coming out and pouring crazy glue into the hole.
Flea's unique style of slap bass, fused with Hillel's searing guitar work, gave the band a sound never heard before.
Hillel was very magical. He was an amazing musician. Hillel. He had this style that was very his own, very unique. I loved Hillel. We all did.
He always wanted to create new music. It was all about creating a whole new sound. He didn't want to be like everybody else.
By the end of '83, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were the most talked about band in Southern California. And to the surprise of their critics, the Chili Peppers landed a record deal just 6 months after they first rocked in their socks.
Red Hot Chili Peppers landed a deal with an EMI subsidiary, and it was like, what? How did that happen? I don't get it.
Over the next couple of years, the Chili Peppers released 2 albums. The first, they say, failed to capture the essence of their sound. So for their second album, Freaky Styley, they recruited legendary producer and funk master George Clinton.
I wanted to be on the scene with whoever was going to be doing the funk when he came back and be not old school, but part of what was happening then. And the Chili Peppers was that raw, straight out, free your mind, your ass will follow. You rock out with your out. You know what I'm saying?
Under Clinton's guidance, the Chili Peppers refined their revolutionary blend of funk, punk, and rock.
It was the best thing ever, being embraced by George Clinton, such a prolific force in the history of music. You know, in this century, one of the greatest, liked us.
After the release of Freaky Styley, the band toured non-stop. Mainstream FM was still spinning hair bands, but college radio was getting hot for the Chili Peppers.
The Chili Peppers' strength was that anybody who came to the show just went bonkers. I mean, they were awesome live.
The Chili Peppers played hard and partied harder. Casual drug use had long been a part of Flea, Anthony, and Hillel's routine. But in '85, dope was starting to drive them apart. Anthony, who had been an occasional heroin user, was now hooked.
It really kind of ended up sinking its teeth into me, you know, over the course of a couple of years maybe, where I would do it one weekend and then, you know, go to band practice every day. And I'd say, I won't do that for a couple of weeks. And then it would be, oh, I won't do that for a week. And then, oh, I won't do that for a few days. Well, I did just do it yesterday, but this will be the only time I do it 2 days in a row. And then, you know, I just started buying the lie.
Anthony wasn't the only one buying the lie. During the recording sessions for Freaky Styley, he discovered Hillel was secretly abusing heroin.
Hillel started a little bit later than I did and was equally as naive when our life was getting sucked away. We were just too swallowed up to be cognizant of it and so, whoa, we gotta stop this, we gotta stop this. I mean, at that point, you're gone.
While Flea admits he did his share of drugs, heroin, he says, was just too hard to handle. Instead, Flea tried his best to be supportive of his 2 closest friends, both struggling with addiction.
Like I said about Hillel, I wish I could have been there for him more. You know, and with Anthony, when I see him go through his troubles, I love him. I love Anthony. You know, I want to be there for him.
In January '88, the Chili Peppers headed out on a European tour. But shortly after arriving in England, Hillel became ill and started to undergo heroin withdrawal.
He was in terrible pain, and I think that was the first time he realized that he was in trouble with this thing, and that it wasn't just a casual affair, and it wasn't just for fun, and it wasn't just a mind-expanding trip, that it had its meat hooks in his heart and wasn't letting go so easily.
Hillel's health was in decline, and it was getting harder to conceal his addiction. Then a roadie concerned for his well-being approached Hillel's brother.
He said, your brother's doing heroin. I didn't believe it at first, but he said, you know, you need to know it's getting out of hand. No one wants to tell you. So I confronted my brother about it. He begged me not to tell my mom, so I didn't. I would have told my mom if I had a second chance.
the beginning of 1988, it looked as if it was going to be a breakthrough year for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Their new album, Uplift Mofo Party Plan, was outselling their previous 2 records, and their shows were drawing big crowds. On the road, it seemed Anthony and Hillel were taking steps to turn their lives around. They agreed to help each other steer clear of heroin.
I had mentioned it to Hillel. I said, Hillel, I think we should both seriously look at being clean. And we talked about it, and we thought, we're both going to perish. We're going to lose the band. And we thought, yeah, we really should, because we'll have a lot more fun, and we can make a lot more music, and life will be better without it.
Entries in a journal reveal Hillel's desire to stay clean. James Slovak says his brother's diary outlines his devotion and love for music.
How I know my brother was hurting to get off of drugs is he writes stuff like this. He says, "F drugs. Music is my destiny. Even though I don't necessarily feel it now, I know soon I will feel that this experience will make me stronger."